Tamar Braxton, the real story behind the address incident in 2025. So we're going to talk about this interview that Tamar Braxton did. And in this interview, she's saying that what her family did to her by giving out her address on the cease and desist wasn't a very safe thing to do. And she basically said in so many words, y'all stop playing dumb. Y'all know y'all gave out my address. But before we get into that, let's talk about Friday's 2-hour season finale. Now, first of all, this had to be one of the worst wedding episodes I've ever seen. It was just, where are all your celebrity friends, Tawanda? Weren't you quoted as saying that everybody does you wrong because you're a celebrity? Well, most celebrities have celebrity friends, okay? I mean, I'm just keeping it real. Like, where's Beyonce? Where's Lady Gaga? Didn't Lady Gaga work for Vince? Oh, those are Tamar celebrity friends, and you really don't have any. I mean, that's how it appears, okay? And if I take away the big wow factor of having all these celebrities there, then it's just a regular old cookout. Yes, and I'm not ashamed to call it the cookout. It was a cookout, okay? My grandmother has those at least 2 or 3 times every summer. You're wearing a purple dress that most people wear to the club. Even Sean's nicely wig, what did he call it, man weave? He wears that every day. We're not even impressed with the man wig. One of the celebrities that you did have at the wedding will be your sister, Trina, and then she left early. It was a disaster. It's not your fault. Or is it really? Because when you say you're a celebrity, you expect something that's over the top. This was way, way under the top. Of course, she had to bring up Tracy again, hummingbirds everywhere, crying because she saw Tracy's signature. And I'm not just talking regular crying, boo-hooing. Because she loved her sister so much, and this would have been a touching moment, and she just loves her sister. So this broke out in tears. This is the reason why she broke out in tears. But you didn't even go to the funeral. So, I didn't fall for it. I mean, no offense. I mean, really, for me, and I'm just talking about me, every time Tawanda brings up Tracy, I go numb. Okay, I think she has ulterior motives. She wants a little sympathy. She wants a little attention. Let me bring up Tracy's name again. She's going to be doing that from now on, okay? Because she can't get anywhere, in my opinion, off of her own reputation. And for me, the only other thing worth mentioning would be Vaughn having to leave the party early because he had dangerously low potassium in his body. Now, I know a lot of you feel sympathetic towards Vaughn because, he has cardiovascular disease. Basically, he has clogged arteries. Now, I got a tip that this scene was exaggerated for the show. They thought it would make the storyline more interesting. I hope that's not true because it didn't make the story more interesting. It just sounded really, the way that the doctor was yelling at him. It just seemed very scripted. And I hope it's not true because we've heard of other reality TV shows scripting scenes. Now you guys too on the Braxtons who claim to be so real. So it really tainted the way that I looked at that scene. So he had to leave right then and there. Listen, but you don't miss a cooking show. No shade, no shade. You're always on Trina's cooking show and y'all are forever eating. And I just don't feel any sympathy towards Vaughn. I think they were being melodramatic, trying to build up a storyline because they know without Tamar, that show is boring. I really do feel in my heart, them coming back on this show was the worst thing that they could have ever done to themselves because it's just not good. Watching you guys be mean to each other, continuously lying is not entertaining. And I'm not just saying that. Look at the ratings. 93,000 views. When they say all that, we are the #1 rated show on they meant in the past. Nobody watched the show. 93,000 views. That's even lower than Carlos King's show, Love and Marriage Huntsville. You guys know what show I'm talking about. The show that he doesn't even like. It's lower than Carlos' show. They made a big mistake by coming back on this show. If they were going to come back, what they should have did was tell the truth. They should have did like Bravo. Everything that was addressed in the blogs, they should have addressed it on the show. And we would have respected them more by being honest and dysfunctional. We can understand dysfunction. We don't understand how you guys try to act like everything is perfectly fine. We don't get that. And here's some inconsistencies from what they're saying in the blogs and what they're saying on the show. You know, she finally brought up her son and she said that he's graduating. That's not what we heard in the blogs. We heard he got kicked out the military and he has a very serious substance abuse problem. We want to know about your children. We want to know about those rumors going around about Brookie, that's what he called it, Brookie and Sean. I don't know what happened to Brooke because Tawanda only says good things about her, but we hear that she's very standoffish and really doesn't talk a lot. And since Tawanda feels the need to talk about other people's children, like Tracy's son, Kevin Jr., then I think she should talk about her own children too. But she sure looks disheveled. I mean, no one really walks around dressed like that. Is there more to Brooke's story that we don't know about? I mean, people were talking about the way that she was dressed on the internet, and it is kind of strange, but I'm wondering, is it hiding a bigger problem? Because everybody was talking about it in the blogs. It would have been nice if you guys addressed the touching rumors. Were you guys all touched by your brother Mikey? Did he touch his children, Lauren and Ashley? Is it true that Miss E knew about it and sent her children back down to South Carolina anyway? Is it true that one of the sisters got pregnant by one of the perpetrators and was forced to terminate the pregnancy and then never to talk about it again? Because that's some heavy allegations. Is it true that all the sisters ganged up on Tamar because she let Ashley come on the show? Is that true? And it's very important to know that the rumor said this included Toni Braxton, who you guys think is so perfect. She wasn't acting perfect that day when she stood up out of her chair and looked like she was getting ready to put her paws on Tamar. Is it true that Toni Braxton is really broke, but goes and buys her son, but goes and leased, that's what the rumors are, leased a Maybach for her son DM to drive? Now that would be crazy now, wouldn't it? You can't really complain about being broke and then you spend over $300,000 for a Maybach. These are the things the show should have talked about. Is it true that Miss E barred everyone from talking about the touching that was going on in your family? Is it true that she said she doesn't have to address a damn thing? Is that true? Is it true that every time someone talks about your past, you call them jealous? Is that true?
Guys, I'm back. You know what? I didn't tell you that Tiffany and Kizzy did my beautiful face, my hair. Don't be jealous, boys and girls. There's times when I will walk away, but there are times when I will defend my kids. They're my kids. What's wrong with you? You know, I mean, no more than what you would do, okay? I say this, you're jealous. You wish it was you, okay? You need to stop. S-T-O-P. You need to cut it. Yeah, you need to cut it. You need to stop. Don't do that. And if you think that something is wrong with it, pray about it. That's all you need to do. If they're doing something that you don't like, pray about it. Well, and what do you have to do with it?
Is it true that the Braxtons protect pedophiles instead of real victims?
Not Trina got up on the internet and said that Gabe is not here to defend himself, so back off.
Is it true that Ashley was threatened, physically threatened, that if she didn't shut up and stop talking about the family, physical harm would come her way?
So first update is that I got a message yesterday from my Faja, and he said to zip it up tight, don't speak. I know just what you're saying. Don't speak, girl. And that he lawyered up, and that I shan't speak of his name or the household. and other things, etc., etc.
Have you guys ever wondered why Ashley told us that her father sent her a cease and desist? She said it was him. And then she said she was going to keep telling her story. And then out of the blue, cold turkey, we don't hear from her anymore. Almost as if there was some kind of panic in the air. Why weren't these things addressed on the show? This is what the whole season should have been about. Healing and talking about the past and how it scarred everyone. But no. We want to talk about Tawanda's barbecue that she keeps calling a wedding. And since I'm under no gag order, I'm just going to tell you how I feel. This was the worst season ever. They exposed themselves for being crooked liars and P-file protectors. It was awful. If you guys wanted to come back and thought that you could just feed us a bunch of fluff, then you were sincerely wrong, okay? Even it shows in the ratings, 93,000 views. No one wants to see this show anymore. It's painful to watch. They're all dysfunctional and screwed up in the head, and all of them besides Tamar do not want to fix the problem. They want to make sure that the public doesn't know that they're screwed up, but they don't want real healing. So this leads me to believe is that they hurried up, showed 2 episodes instead of 1. They didn't want this slow drip to keep going. I think that the producers are done with the Braxtons. I think that production is done with the Braxtons. And I think everyone's pretty much disgusted with the Braxtons. And they're just too ignorant to realize it. And even worse than that, I feel like Toni Braxton should have never did the show. She had a good reputation until she decides to side with Tawanda. And then when you start seeing one imperfection, then you see all of her imperfections. She's not perfect. She's damn near 60 years old with a career that's seen better days. Let me put it that way, because you guys all get upset. Toni Braxton's a legend. She's a legend. What does that have to do with the present? She can't get any music exec on the phone if she paid them to. But that's not the real problem here. The real problem is she doesn't know how to not be a star anymore. It happens to the best of them. It happened to Frank Sinatra, Tina Turner. You have a certain amount of time in the limelight. She will always be respected for what she did, but she will never have a #1 hit album. Those days are behind her, and that's okay. It's okay to get old, people. Someone said to me, how dare you call people old? I'm a damn senior citizen myself. I accept where I am in life, and I'm old. Some people think looking at old age is a blessing. Others think it's a curse. And I personally think that Toni's having a hard time at it. That's why she dresses in, see-through clothes when she goes to the graduation, wearing tank tops. You're almost 60 years old. And I think it's going to be very difficult for her if she doesn't get a different idea in her head that being old is not a curse. And it damn sure would have made a better storyline than these cockamamie storylines that they came up with this season. We want realness. If Toni's having a hard time accepting that she's old, we would be more embracing, because a lot of people go through it. If she would have showed that she was broke and accidentally married a damn addict, we would have been more embracing. These people came on the show, lied, thought they can fluff their way through everything, and we're not tolerating it. I mean, they really tried to convince us that Tawanda wasn't jealous of Tamar, that Tawanda wasn't a thief. I mean, it's just, it's the worst show on television. I hate to say it. It's the worst reality TV show on television. And because they won't be real, I don't think the fans want the show back. I don't think they should come back. I don't think producers want to bring them back, because producers are about their numbers and about the now. And they're going to look at this as, okay, you guys are sick of this family. Let's move on. Let's find another dysfunctional family. It might even be Krishan Rock. I'm just saying. And I'll make a whole nother video about this bidding war that people are bending over backwards to get Krishan Rock and her toxicity on their channels. So until there's a show that's just about Tamar and Toni, I will not be watching any more episodes of the Braxtons. I think it's going to get canceled. I really do. And to finish everything up, Tamar just did an interview in which she said giving out her address was not a safe thing to do.
Home is a safe place. So for me, it took me a long time to actually buy a house here that I actually lived in. Like I have 3 that's just sitting here in the city because I just didn't feel safe enough to move into.
Yeah, so when they gave out that address, she just felt like they already knew what you was going through.
Yeah, man, because not only did he send it to my house once, he sent it to my house 3 times. He sent it to my house. He had someone walk it up to my house. He sent it where they sent it through U.S. mail, and then they sent it through.
You told them like I got a cease and desist who. And nobody said anything.
Because it was never a factor of a cease and desist. It was the fact of who gave out my personal information.
Yeah.
My home.
So there you have it, people. So this season is over. I'm pretty much done with talking about the Braxtons unless a major player changes their mind and decides to come on my show. Then I will talk about it again because we deserve to hear firsthand all these rumors that we're hearing about. So let me know your thoughts down in the comments section. What do you think of season 2 of the Braxtons? Until next time, bye for now.
You told them like I got a cease and desist who, and nobody said anything.
Because it was never a factor of a cease and desist. It was the fact of who gave out my personal information.
Yeah.
My home.